Hello everyone and welcome down to episode 174 of the Down South Photo Show with me, Brendan Waits, here in Ocean Grove, Victoria, Australia. And the guy on your other screen or in your other ear, if you're listening to the podcast, it is Cam Blake in Hobart, Tasmania, Australia. Hello, Cameron.
Hello, Brendan. How are you today? I feel like I may have only seen you yesterday.
So we just got off I just got off do they still call it the Apple Isle, or is that an old thing?
No, I think it is still called the Apple Isle. Well, it is to mainlanders, maybe not to the locals, but I don't know.
No.
I think that's okay.
I wouldn't have thought it was still a common thing, but I've just been in Tasmania with that guy. We had our little Tarkine to Cradle Mountain adventure, which I'm sure people who follow us on the socials would have seen our updates, seen the photos we've been putting up. Gee, Cam, we got some pretty amazing conditions, didn't we?
Oh, they were all right. They weren't too bad. No, we hit the jackpot on a few spots, didn't we? It was good.
We did, yeah.
We got a couple of really brilliant, real brilliant sunrises, a couple of very mentionable sunsets, and just some really cool stuff in between those two bookends of each day. So, you can't, I think we said a few times, it's hard to, even if the weather's not great down here, it's hard not to get a great photo from some of the locations we visit. So, yeah, I think customers were happy, guests were happy. Everyone seemed to be quite happy with what went on, so it was good.
Yeah, I know at one point when we were at Sumac Lookout, you shot me a look at one point like, it doesn't get any better than this here.
That was one of the better ones I'd seen there. Again, just that fog, take all that fog away and it just becomes a little bit, not boring, but it's just nowhere near as dramatic as what it could be. But put a bit of fog and sunlight and sunrise and seven, we had 7 people, didn't we? 7 excited customers.
Yeah.
And that was good. So everyone had a great time. I was just writing a list I'm missing someone off my list. I was just going to say thanks to everyone, but I'm missing one. I can't figure out. I always miss one. And I've got to go around the table to try and, I know who it is.
Very good. Ooh,
there you go. It's lucky you didn't leave that one off. But I think a bit of a shout out to the people that came along. We had Peter, Marie, Helen, Dee, Paris, Simon, and Aileen from all over the country. Really, there was a few from Canberra, a few from New South Wales, a few from Victoria, South Australia. Yeah, they were great fun. We had a lot of laughs on this trip. It was good, and everyone was enthusiastic, and everyone was keen to learn, and we're happy to get up at silly o'clock to get rewarded with some great shots.
Yeah, we had a good sort of sprinkling of all sort of levels of photography as well. There were people that were really sponges and wanted to absorb everything that we had to say and do. And there was others that were happy just to go off and do their own thing, that felt confident that they could get their shots. I think one of the funnest times was actually that same sunrise at Sumac, because it's only a small lookout and it was really only big enough for the 7 of them. So just having 7 photographers lined up in one spot, all pointing in the same direction and all with a common goal, I thought that was actually kind of cool. And how no one sort of cared so much because it was so spectacular. No one sort of cared that they were shoulder to shoulder, so to speak.
Yeah, it was good. That was, again, that spot is good for groups like that. If only the forestry region or forestry industry of Tasmania just trimmed a bit of that foreground out for us. There's a couple of stray bushes that get in the way that everyone mentions. But yeah, it was definitely a good moment. And like you said, everyone was sat up. Everyone was happy to go. Peter was a bit reluctant to go get his big lens until he did get his big lens and got some great shots. I actually saw what he did. He did on his Facebook page or his Instagram page or something like that. He did like a bit of a wide angle, not so wide. Then he sort of took a series of shots where it went in. I thought it was really cool. But yeah, that was good. Like I said, everyone was really happy. And like you said, people were happy to learn and sponge off us. Some were sort of happy just to walk off once they got the gist of what the location was. And overall, it was a pretty easily to manage group, I thought.
Absolutely. Thank you to everyone who has followed and subscribed to the show. By the way, subscribing here on YouTube is 100% free. There is a subscribe button down there. Knock yourself out. Go and hit it. Good to see that the channel is growing again, Cam. We've, by the time this comes out, we will have hit 1,300 subscribers, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah. It's taken a while to get that last 300, but hopefully, I don't know, maybe YouTube's being kind to us again. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
or maybe people, maybe
no
people
one will ever understand no one will ever understand the algorithm, will they?
Well, we haven't changed anything. Like, we're still doing regular episodes, still got the same format, still putting out the same stuff. So some weeks it grows, other weeks it doesn't. We haven't been too controversial of late, so maybe that's slowed our growth a bit. And
we can be if you want. I mean, I can make something up if you want.
You make something up. Yeah, I'm not being controversial anymore. I've decided to stay away from controversy.
I don't.
It's too much energy.
No, and I think the whole group knows that I don't know how to be controversial, mate, because, it's just not in my nature.
Yes. Yep. You wear that mask very well.
Photo of the week. Cam, would you like to throw up your photo of the week? Well, actually, would you like me to do it for you? Because
I was going to say, you might have to do that.
It will be that one. There we are.
Yeah, that's the first one. So yeah, this was the second last morning, I think it was, at Cradle Mountain. So that's what they call a pandanus tree or a pandeni tree. Only found generally above 800 meters of elevation, although I've seen some a bit lower in Tassie. They are a really cool little shrub. You can see that's quite a small one, and then in the background there's like a bit of a family of taller ones. But it was frozen solid at Ronnie Creek that morning. It was a very cold morning. I think we got down to about -4 when we were there anyway. But yeah, just those pandanus work really well. They got really a lot of character, and these leaves all have a bit of purple and brown and sort of gold and reddy sort of green colors on them. So yeah, that was a good shot. We had to wait for another gentleman to get out the way in the background. He was wandering around there for about 10 minutes, completely oblivious to the group of photographers waiting to take a photo, but that's okay. We don't own the national park, so we let him do his thing, and then we end up getting a good shot like this. So yeah, I'm thinking I might print this one. I think it might look good printed up. It's got that sort of feel about it. So yeah, I was happy with that. It was a nice little shot.
No, it is. It was a great spot because we'd already been over to Dove Lake and the classic Cradle Mountain view, and people would have seen the couple of photos we put up of actual ice on Dove Lake, which you said was quite rare. You hadn't seen that before.
I don't think I'd ever seen. I've seen little bits of ice in the little puddles and tarns, but not on the lake itself. So that was pretty cool to see around at the boathouse. That sort of first meter or two was sort of frozen in from the shore, which is quite cool. I was trying to get a couple of shots on that, trying to get the right angle to get the sort of icy crevices or whatever you want to call them, the cracks near the boathouse. But it was really cool. As soon as you went low, it sort of lost its sort of cracked feel, a feel of being cracked. So yeah, it was a bit tricky. So, but it was cool. It was a great morning down there. And again, like the crowds were pretty full on, but we fought them off, and we managed to have the place practically to ourselves again.
It was absolutely remarkable that basically, and I'm struggling to actually think of any of the places where there was more than a handful of other people. So let that be a lesson to all our listeners that there's no such thing as bad weather. There's only bad gear. And yes, it's cold in Tassie. We get it. It's winter.
Yeah.
But if you want photographs of ice on Dove Lake, and if you want frozen pandani, and if you want, mist rising out of valleys and stuff like that, well, it's the time of year to do it, and no one else will be there. So go and get yourself a nice warm coat and chuck it on and get some thermals on and get out there.
Well, that's a good little segue to our tour next year, because we are going next year. I've had a few people comment and a few questions sent through about the locations and time of year. We do have another trip next year, Tarkine to Cradle next year in 2026. It's around about the same time. I think it's August 20 maybe next year to 25. So it's 3 days in Tarkine, 2.5 days in Cradle. It has a full allotment of spots available right now if you want to jump on dsps.com. All the info's down below. Brendan's scrolling it across. But yeah, like it is funny that it is not many people there. Having said that, like Cradle Mountain was -4. I can guarantee if you went up, Mount Buffalo or Mount Buller in Victoria or some of the Stowe Mountains, you would have had the same sort of temperatures. So as you say, there's no such thing as bad weather, just bad gear or bad clothing. And everyone was prepared. I know Helen rugged up. She looked like a little Michelin man girl when she had all her gear on, but she was warm and she got around perfectly fine getting photos. So it can be a bit uncomfortable if you don't have the right gear, but if you've got the right gear, it actually is quite enjoyable.
Yeah, and I can say that the heaters in both our cars work very well. So I would in already now next year is roughly around the same time again, isn't it? So
I think it's August 20 to 25, I think,
there you
next
go.
year.
And is all exactly now that it'll be on. So
Mm. Yeah.
highly encourage people to get down, come along with us and check that one out. My photo of the week happens to also
Yes,
come from
please.
the same trip, but
I doubt it.
it is in the this one's more in the Tarkine. Now this was taken at Sarah Ann Rocks. Now, can I ask a question, Cam?
About
Do you think
your photo.
do you think
Yeah.
those very rocks are Sarah Ann's rocks?
They could be.
I think they
I
are.
don't know if there's an actually allocated amount of rocks for her, but they definitely could be. There's a lot there to choose from. So, but it's funny that that section that you've shot there is normally full of kelp. Like there would have been a little bit back before you, but that area there for the last couple of years has been just, about half a meter thick of, rotten kelp and stuff like that, which makes for cool foregrounds. So yeah, I haven't seen it with that so many clean rocks in that foreground
Yeah.
like you got there. So
I was on the lookout for just it was pretty breezy there, and there was always there you get the rugged the waves breaking and stuff like that. But this is just like literally two little bays across from where we were doing the main shooting. We sort of went for a bit of a wander to see what I could see, and then I came across this, and I was sort of hoping more for water to be up in it and waves washing back. And then I thought, well, hang on a minute, this is a little more sort of stark. It's got some really sort of dark tones to all those rocks through there. So it was just a quick chuck the tripod down. The tripod's not even extended here. That's as low as it gets. It's sitting on a little rock. Angle it down a wee bit. And as far as metering is concerned, I just really wanted to meter for the brightest section of any rock I could see, which happened to be that rock pretty much sort of almost dead center towards the bottom there. It's got a sort of bright face on it. So I metered off the face of that rock, and just like we told a lot of people on the trip, just to let the light fall where it does. And in this case, it just sort of spread out quite nicely across all those rocks. And because the shadowing, it was in a valley, so there was not a lot of light getting down into here. The sun is actually setting over that ridge line to the right, way out there. So I'm in a lot of shade here. It actually turned out pretty cool. I just like the effect. And the thing about Sarah Ann Rocks is it feels really rugged and inhospitable. And I think that photo sort of portrays that as well. So that's what I was trying to capture in that little area.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to get lost in Sarah Ann Rocks having to find your way out in the dark if you didn't know where that little four-wheel drive track was, because it is a bit treacherous. I think when we first got there, some of the guests were, we gave a fairly detailed safety briefing about that region because it is quite treacherous. But I think for the first 20 minutes, people were a little bit scared to go anywhere but apart from where we sort of set up. And then people started to sort of get their legs a bit and spread out and go for a bit of a wander. I know Paris just took off. She was off like a rocket when she got there. And I know Marie went down your way. So yeah, it's an amazing spot. And like I said, there's all different rock formations. You can really do a lot of different things at Sarah Ann Rocks. You can go like the landscape stuff that you've done. There's some abstract stuff with all the patterns on the rocks, which are incredible. There's really cool grasses sort of growing around rock formations. You got a little bit of pig face growing in there as well. So it's got a lot of different angles for abstract and landscape. And even I've done portrait shoots in there before. You can sort of do a bit of anything in there. It is a very magical little spot. And again, no one goes there really. Like, I don't think I've ever been on a tour where we've come across anyone in there. It's always been ours and ours alone, which is strange, but not arguing.
No, it's fantastic. Now, I noticed as well, Cam, you've loaded up another photo there, so I'm going to put it up.
Yeah, I was just putting that when you're talking about Sumac Lookout, I thought we'd just show viewers what sort of shot we got, and that's the sort of start to the day we got with. Now, that's taken with a big long lens. It's probably 800 mil from where we were standing, but you could have taken 1,000 of these shots all around that scene. It was there's a big wide look out there, but just took off, didn't it? That fog lit up, and then we got all the streaks of the shadowing happening, and it really was like shooting fish in a barrel with a longer lens, and that's what everyone did. They all got out 200 mil or more and just took shot after shot, working their way around the big scene.
And to show that we were literally shoulder to shoulder, without knowing it, we both loaded up a very similar photo. So there's my effort from the same lookout. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
cool, wasn't it? I mean, it was great. The scene was already in front of us, but then the light came, and it just
yeah,
so I'd sort of picked out compositions hoping that this might happen, because you were explaining how the sun should pop up over the ridgeline to the right, and then just fill in
yeah,
all this with light, but which would have been awesome on its own. But the fact that you get the shadowing with those streaks, so
yeah.
it's perfectly natural light that you're looking at there, folks. Yeah, it was very exciting to see that. We'd seen it at BFOP up on Buffalo. You get it a bit up there too when you get your long lens down into the valleys with all the mist rising out. But this is on steroids. Like there's just ridgeline after ridgeline of trees just giving you these beautiful patterns.
Yeah.
Now it was awesome.
It's classic dark light. The other thing we didn't get, the other thing we didn't get with this shot would have been cool to have like an eagle or some birds flying around through that fog would have been cool. But it was one of those moments where the whole group just went from, oh, it's sort of dark, there's a bit of light coming to, oh my God, okay, with all that stuff. And everyone got really excited and everyone was just shooting. And people were, literally just moving their lens around the scene and taking great little shots everywhere. So I'm pretty happy and confident that everyone at that spot got a really good shot for that morning.
Yeah, absolutely. It was grouse. And again, the fact that, and this is what I found interesting. I mentioned this to you as well. So we had, I'm going to probably get this wrong, but we had, I think there was 2 Nikon shooters, 3 Olympus OM shooters, 2 Canon shooters. Yeah, that's right. That's the 7.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And basically we had all the cameras lined up on tripods, all at roughly the same height, all pointing at the same scene. And then we got everyone to set their white balance to the same. So it was all, I think we started on shade and we were playing around different, but they happened to be all on the shade white balance setting just so we could see. Yeah. I saw 7 different screens, 7 different colors on the screens. It was actually an eye opener for me because, it's almost like the screen on the back of the camera. Well, how calibrated is that? And can you calibrate it? It was quite interesting to see that.
Well, I think people make a big mistake with their screens. A lot of people trust that screen more than anything else as for color and exposure. But we all know, like, you can change the contrast, you can change the saturation, you can calibrate those screens to be more contrasty and punchy or less brighter or whatever. So I think people get caught out a bit when they look at it. I think someone said it on the trip that when I look at my screen, it doesn't look like anything I put on the computer later on. And I think a lot of that's got to do with the difference maybe between their screen at home being calibrated versus their camera screen maybe being adjusted differently. So that's why it's important to really understand your histogram and make sure you're exposing for that light, getting that right, and not just depending on the back of that replay, because more often than not, it's not going to look the same as what it does on your big screen.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be close, but there's going to be subtleties, particularly in that kind of light where to me it looked, and we saw everything on the screens from quite warm to quite cool across the whole gamut. So I found that quite interesting. And I also found it interesting because when I'm trying to edit later, I remember the fog as being quite white. And yet, the 2 photos that we put up then had a slight, that golden tinge to it. So I was trying to avoid that, but it was almost unavoidable. When I was editing, it was like, okay, and if you try and cool it off, the fog actually goes blue. And it's like, well, it wasn't blue. Yeah. So I was trying to find that happy medium. And I think maybe it did actually throw a golden light once the sun hit the horizon, came up. But prior to that, it was a lot whiter, even subtle grey tones to it. So it was, that was just an interesting little aside.
Yeah, no, it was good. And again, it was just one of those really lovely moments of that first morning. It was our second morning sunrise where we sort of got the timing right, and then the weather did its thing. But then after that, as with most things, when you have a frosty morning or foggy morning, you're almost guaranteed to have a really nice bluebird day. And then that makes things even harder for photography if you're just shooting in the perfect weather all day. So, ebbs and flows. You get the beautiful sunrise in the morning, but then you're sort of struggling a bit through that brighter bit of the day to get some images done. But we made it work. Everyone got away with some great shots.
Yeah, it was where it was interesting as well was when we were at Cradle Mountain, because the distances we needed to travel in Cradle Mountain were far shorter than they were in the Tarkine. So in the Tarkine, we had the luxury of being able to drive to a destination when the light wasn't great. There was only really one spot, which was West Point, where the light was incredibly harsh. But, that had its merits as well. Like, I got the big zoom lens out. And we were quite blessed to have a nice big old sea eagle show himself and come soaring above us. So that was pretty remarkable.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's the thing as well. Like, workshops are good. You know, it'd be awesome if you had just perfect conditions every location you went in, perfect light. But what would you learn then? If you got everything perfect, you got to be able to learn how to shoot. You know, when you're on those travel journeys that you go on, or holidays that you go on, and you go to that amazing town in Europe or whatever it is, and you think, oh, I want foggy streets and stuff like that, but you get dished up bright sunny days with nothing. You just don't walk away from the location and go, oh well, you know, we'll just go to the cafe. You want to shoot, so learning to shoot in difficult conditions is probably just as important, if not equally important, than just shooting in perfect light all the time. So I thought it was a good. That West Point was hard. Some of the forest parts were a bit bright as well, but you work around what you got, and I think our group did a pretty good job. They all sort of embraced it a bit.
Without doubt. And for those of you that were screaming at your screen before when I mentioned that there was ice in front of the boat shed at Dove Lake, that's what it looked like from a wider angle shot. You can see the ice that's in the foreground there. You're quite right, Cam. It was difficult to capture. The reason I didn't mind this one was because the reflection of the boathouse actually goes into the ice. So you can actually see that the edges of the lake were frozen. And I think I'd put that down to 2 days before we got there, this place was blanketed in snow. And then the next day it was freezing. And then this morning, so nothing had really a chance to thaw out. So I guess that. And you made the comment as well when we were at Ronnie Creek that you saw some hoarfrost as well.
Yeah, I thought it was like it looked like it was just a couple of like absolute brilliantly white trees covered in frost, which I hadn't seen before as well. But yeah, it's it gets cold there, but a bit of a shame. Like they did have a fairly big snow dump, and I was hoping we might have had a little bit more lying around, but instead of snow, we got frost. So you know, a shot there, you can see all the button grasses frozen. All the rocks on the foreshore, it was like they were almost glued together. They were really sort of stuck together with the ice. So that was pretty cool. And then, we got that nice light to kick the day off. So, it was good.
Yeah. It was quite good. Now, moving on, we have our August comp running over on Facebook. So the theme for that is free. Some great entries have been coming in, so thank you for everyone who has entered so far. What we'll do when we get to the end of August is we'll do what we normally do, and we'll pick a winner. Cam's going to send you a voucher or a book or something.
Probably a book. Yep.
And then we'll collate what we consider to be our top 10. We'll put that up for a people's vote, and the winner of the people's choice will win a prize in September. So keep an eye out for that. But head over to our Facebook page for that. Just search the Down South Photo Show on Facebook, and you'll see a pinned post at the top to enter the comp this month, which the theme is 3.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it now. There is some very good shots in this month's one. I like it. We're gonna have arguments over the winner, I reckon.
Okay.
There's a lot of it wouldn't be the first one. There's a lot of good ones in there, which is going to be hard to separate. So, but it's about 30 or 40 entries in there. So
the way we generally go about it, folks, is Cam and I will pick out, say, our top 5. And if we happen to have one image that we've both put into our top 5, then generally speaking, that's the one we'll sort of argue about whether it should be the winner or not. So that's the general gist of the process. I think 2 months ago, though, we had to have a top 7 because there was too many good entries. So it looks like we're heading the same way for this one as well.
I think you can throw a blanket over the top 10 as being good enough to win so far from what I can see, but you never know. There might be an absolute standout that comes in that you out there haven't entered yet. So get over to Facebook, chuck it in there, see if you can impress us.
Absolutely.
Good luck.
I'm sure you can. We're going to try something a little different tonight, Cam. We put the feelers out last week for something a little different, and that is we wanted people to send in their images for us to critique. And you can do that by sending us an email, contact@dsps.com.au. Did I get that right? Yeah, contact@dsps.com.au is our email address. We have now got one centralized email address, so you can send that to us there. And our good friend of the show, Sharon
Shazbang from Shazbang Images.
That's right. Yeah, it is good. Has sent in 2 images for us to critique. So I guess we'll just chuck them up on the screen and
all right, let's go.
Now,
strap in, Shaz.
Can you see them under there? Shaz 1 or Shaz 2? Which one would you like me to put up first?
I can't see any of them, and I think only on your screen you can see it.
Let's go with that. So that's the first one. I know where that photo is taken.
Yeah, I do. Would you like to go first critiquing, or do you want me to do the first one first and you do the second one first?
No, I'm going to go first. Now, hand on heart, I have not had a close look at this on a big screen until right now. I just literally uploaded the thumbnails into here. So that's how we want to do it. If we're going to critique photos, we want to do it live on the show. I think straight out, it's a nice image. I think it's got a lot of merit to it. You certainly, Shaz, taken it at the right time of day for a bit of mood. You got the fog and mist rising off and coming over the top of the mountains in the distance. That looks nice. Immediately, the first thing I would say is the tree on the left-hand side seems to be blocking or cluttering this image. It feels a little bit constricted by that tree on the left. So, I mean, and look, and sometimes it's really, really difficult. This might have been as close as you get to the water's edge, and I understand that. And you might have even zoomed in a little bit to sort of crop it out. So I understand there might have been limitations there. However, I think maybe even just a little bit more tighter crop, even a square crop might look cool here. A 1-to-1 crop could look pretty cool. I just think that tree on the left is a very, very heavy anchor point in this image that just keeps pulling my eye over to the left, almost like I want to see what's behind the tree. So if there was a way that you could have got a little closer so you keep the jetty in the shot but remove the tree on the left, that would have been cool. Other than that, I mean, it's nice and sharp. It looks like you've picked up a focal point on maybe of the jetty or even the tree closer on the right-hand side. But I just think just a little bit more clever composition might have worked a little better on this one for me. Otherwise, I love the feel. It feels like a cool scene. So the color tones are cool, which are good, which is good. That's a rule of thumb, really. If you were cold when you were there, it's pretty much how you want to edit to the cool tones. Other than that, what do you think, Cam?
Yeah, fairly similar. I think that tree on the left is a little bit distracting. Yeah. If you look in the foreground directly in the middle, Sharon could have probably stepped about a meter forward onto that green mossy bit there and taken the same sort of shot and taken that tree out the way. So yeah, I think maybe getting in front of that tree somehow would have improved it. Possibly even just if you could go around to the end of the jetty and just shoot the jetty straight down the middle of the scene or something like that. I think the exposure is good. I think, like I said, the mood and the color feels good about it. I sort of get the feeling that maybe the horizon line is a tad off. It looks like it sort of runs a bit downhill from right to left by not much, but a little bit. But I double check that. I think like I said, the sharpness in it's really nice. The jetty looks really lovely. The splash of green and gold in the foreground and the right looks great. My eye not only goes to the tree, but it also goes to that brighter bit of sky above the mountain. So I would maybe look at trying to darken that down a bit more, just so the eye stays in that sort of center bit of the frame. But that's good. It's edited well. It's exposed well. Composition is good. Like I said, maybe that tree, if you just got in front of that tree a little bit, could have been better. But overall, yeah, it's a cool shot. I like it. I love the smooth water. I like all that. It's really nice. I'd say it's maybe, looking at the clouds, possibly a bit of a longer exposure, but we do get the river. This is down the road from me, actually. They do get the river that's sort of mirror reflective a lot of the time here. So yeah, I like it. It's good color, good shot. Just a couple of little things that could be improved potentially.
Yeah, I think while you were talking there as well, I was thinking about the image a little bit more, and right in the center of the frame, which is the reflection of the sky, there's not a lot going on. Now, that's difficult because it could have been the cloud pattern at the time, and I'm just wondering whether waiting a little longer for maybe some more contrast in that area, because it is right in the middle of the frame. It's a little bit sort of distracting. There's not a lot of detail there, not a lot going on. So, that could have also been slightly improved as well. But yeah, look, as I say, overall, it's a cool shot. I like it. But that's that one critique. So let's have a look at the second one, shall we?
I don't think she's like a lead away. I don't think she's thrown her camera away just yet after that one. I think that was pretty good.
Maybe she will after this one. Let's see. There you go.
Waiting. Oh, yeah, cool. I did see this shot of Shaz Bangs. I actually really like this shot. I think it's got a lot of elements that are working for it. There was another shot that Sharon did. So this is the HMAS Adelaide, which is one of our aircraft carriers, apparently, which docked in Hobart a few weeks ago. Shaz got a really great shot. If you look on the edge of the runway next to that flag, there's a serviceman standing right there under the flag at attention. She got almost a full frame of that sort of boat on its own, which I loved. But this one's a bit of a wider angle shot of that. I like it. I like the color, and it's great. I do actually remember this sunset because I was at home looking out the window, hoping that she'd gone down to see this big boat. So the color's good. The exposure's good. There's a bit going on in the composition. You got the little jetty coming in from the right, and you got the tugboat and everything onto the left. I think I prefer it to maybe be a tighter crop in from the left, so maybe not have the aircraft carrier smack bang in the middle. But it looks good. I like it. Yeah, I like the yacht. The mast is breaking the skyline there is good. But yeah, maybe just taking a little bit off that side of the frame, keeping the tugboat in maybe, and leaving out that sort of looks like it's a boat control center or whatever it is above the back of that building there. But overall, I like it. I think the color's really nice. It's an interesting shot. I think the other shot she did, that was the full frame of the ship, is a better shot than what this one is, only because it's got the guy standing at attention. It's pretty cool, and it's not something you see in Hobart every day. But yeah, I like it. It's good. Just that little, maybe a bit of a crop from the left, just to bring it in a bit closer would have been my adjustment.
Yep. Hard to argue. This is a much better shot than the first one we saw of hers. I think it's great. I love the color. How good's the sunset there? It also looks pin sharp, so it looks like you focus pretty much straight on the aircraft carrier in the middle of the screen. Literally, as you said, the tighter crop. I was nodding my head profusely. I think I'm not 100% sure. It looks to me like it's closer to a 16:9 crop than a 3:2. I would probably switch it back to 3:2 and actually come in on both sides. So you've got the tugboat on the left. In front of the tugboat, there's 1, 2, 3, looks like 5 of those things that the boats bump into. I probably would have just kept. Yeah, I just probably would have kept maybe the one closest to the boat. So I'd crop it to about there. And then on the right-hand side, you've got that yacht there. And to the right of the yacht, you've got the pillars of the jetty. I would probably just keep that pillar of the jetty in, and the rest could go. So, yeah, just a slightly tighter crop. But, look, I'm clutching at straws, Shaz. It's a cool shot. Love the reflection of the colours on the water. And it's a good juxtaposition of a great sunset and then a big military.
Did you use juxtaposition in your review?
I'm afraid I did. Is that okay? Is that frowned upon in Tasmania?
No. It's a great word to use when critiquing images. The juxtaposition is, you've made it when the judge drops the juxtaposition in there. You're on to good things there, especially in the old AIPP days. The juxtaposition.
Oh, was it?
Almost guaranteed a gold if you got that.
I could see your eye twitching as I use that word, mate.
That's right.
Awesome, cool. So that's cool. Great, good work, Shaz. We want to see more from you, and by all means, if you want to send us, there's the email address there, contact@dsps.com.au. Send us in some images. They don't have to be super high res either. They're just going up on the screen for the pod, so you can send them across to us. You send us, let's say, a maximum of 3. We don't want to be sort of too inundated, so a maximum of 3 images would be great for us to critique for you. We'll be as dead honest as we can be. It will be encouraging critiquing, won't it, Cam?
It could be, unless it's really, really lacking something. Well, we said about it the other day, actually, it's hard to go online these days and get anyone to critique your images because everyone's too scared to say something in case they get jumped on by the rest of the social media keyboard warriors. So, it'd be nice if we could get 3 different photos from 3 different people next week or whenever we're doing the next episode. That'd be cool. And that way we can have a good look at some different things. So if you want to get your photos out in front of people, you want us to have a look at them and give our opinions. Like I said, we'll give our honest opinion. And, that'd be good if you could do that. So, send it through. Yeah, it doesn't have to be super high res. Don't clog up our email with 100 megabit files if you don't have to. So yeah, but no, Shazbang did well. So Shazbang's also got a Facebook page. I think it's called Shazbang Images or Shazbangers Images. So if you're on Facebook, give her a like or jump over and have a look. She's producing some really nice work these days. It's been really nice to see her journey grow in photography and sort of feel like she's finding her style and getting her feet a bit in what she likes to do. So it's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been great. And, there's a few people that have come on multiple workshops with us as well, or, just pop into the shop and say g'day to me from time to time, or keep tabs on us on our social media. And you do, over time, see them develop their own style. And I think Shaz is certainly doing that, which is super cool.
Yeah. No, she's good. She's good value, Shaz.
She is. I want to just briefly go back to a topic that we talked about the last couple of weeks. As many of you know, I've switched back to Nikon these days. And I just wanted to I've really now had the Nikon Z5 Mark II for a couple of weeks. There's a picture of one right there. And I just wanted to give, I suppose, my preliminary thoughts on that camera. And I keep going back to the fact that this is only $2,500, and I can hear the eye rolls from here. Only $2,500 is still a lot of money. I get that, but the features that it packs an absolute punch for the money. I have been pretty happy with it. I've had a couple of moments where I've sort of had to scratch my head a bit to find things in Nikon's menu, and I put that down to the fact that I've just been with OM or Olympus for the last 10 to 12 years, and dabbled in other brands along the way, but my main gear has been OM. And so I guess you get used to OM logic, right? And now I've got to switch my head back to Nikon logic. So I put it down to that first and foremost. But overall, the way the camera handles speed of autofocus is doing my head in how good it is at autofocusing. It's almost like I was blind and now I can see. The way its tracking system is phenomenal. So when we were down in the Tarkine, we went to a place called Marrawa. Was I saying that right? Marrawa.
Yeah, Marrawa. Marrawa. Yep.
And we happened to be there on a Sunday, and the surf was happening, and there was quite a few surfers out, and they were doing, it was quite cool because at least one of the guys was quite adventurous with his tricks and stuff like that. So it was awesome to be able to focus really, really quickly, track and do burst mode shooting on guys surfing. So guys and girls were out there surfing. It was so cool how quick it was. But the big takeaway was I had a guy out surfing. I'm using a 150 to 500 lens. Then all of a sudden, the blue wren lands on a branch right in front of me. And then being able to switch immediately straight into a birding mode was pretty cool. So I've gotten quite good at switching those modes nice and quick, and I was able to capture the scenes quite quickly. So, and look, again, we are not sponsored by anyone on this show. Well, we're sponsored by Taz Photos, and we're sponsored by Ocean Grove Camera and Photos. So, it was awesome.
Sponsored by our viewers, pretty much.
Yeah, that's right. So I've been using the primarily the Tamron 150 to 500, thanks to the folks at Blonde Robot for loaning me that, and their 16 to 30 f2.8 as well, and which are the two lenses I use most of the time for the last 2 weeks, Kangaroo Island and Tasmania, and being pretty happy with it. Like I bemoaned last week, I didn't get a 70 to 200 in time to go to Tassie with, and there was, to be honest though, in Tassie, I think there was only maybe twice when it was like, I really could have done with that 70 to 200 in that instance. But other than that, I was very, very happy with it. Had that thing in pretty much pouring rain at one point. Didn't care about it. Just let it sit, get wet. Didn't matter. I know it's all weather sealed, so from that point of view, it was good.
You were able to get spots on your sensor. That was good.
Yeah, at one point, and then I worked out how to clean the sensor with its self-cleaning thing, and it fixed it straight away. Yeah, all that sort of stuff. So if you've got any questions about if you're looking at Nikon mirrorless, if you want to send me a question, to contact@dsps.com.au or through my camera and photo channels as well. Happy to answer them for you. I don't care where you buy your camera, but just if you've got questions about it, then as I say, I'll happily help you out. But so far so good, pleasantly surprised, and not at all fussed that it's only 24 megapixel full frame.
It is getting a lot of good reviews, the camera. I've been seeing lots of things pop up on my socials with reviews on it. Value for money, like you said, seems to be sort of knocking it out of the park. Again, horses for courses, like the menu you'll get used to. Like I said, once you get back into that system, we try to find a few things. I was testing you out every now and then on the trip to try and find something that you might be able to do or change a setting and stuff like that, which worked out well for the group because there's a couple of other Nikon users who are able to sort of try and follow you through the menu and figure out how to do things. It looks like you're having fun with it. You haven't dropped it yet, which is good. But the images coming out of them look great and you're happy. So that's the main thing.
Yeah. I hate camera straps.
Yeah. Camera straps are shit.
They just don't get along well with me.
No.
Whether it be, my camera sitting on a tripod and I'm trying to do a long exposure and it's a bit breezy and the strap is just rocking it's like a little bloody sail. That I don't like. The way it gets twisted. They have their own way and they have their own unique way of twisting up in weird ways, particularly when you're trying to get get it out of your bag. They're like tripods. They're a necessary evil. But one knock against Nikon is your strap that you gave me for your Nikon Z5 Mark II is a piece of crap. I think that's where you're saving money.
I was going to say that's a cost cut. That's a cost cutting thing for sure.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? You had your 52 factorial stat that you put in episode whatever it was.
Yes.
There was a stat. There was something I read about like iPhone cables and headphones and things like that. That headphones, if you untwist them 18 times or something like that, that's how many twists it takes for them before they get to a point where they won't twist anymore. So that might be the same with the camera straps. What I like using these days, I didn't use it on the trip and I don't have one here. Sometimes just a wrist strap is enough for me. Like it means you can walk around. It means you can right hand or left hand, whatever you are, is a bit restricted. Yeah, but having those longer straps on, they do twist and they do carry on.
So this is my Nikon D70 that I've just produced magically off the side of the screen. Now that strap from 20 years ago would be 20 years ago is 10 times better than the one they're supplying now. But what I like to do, well, maybe I will. That'd be a good little throwback, wouldn't it? But what I like to do now, what I like to do is this. I just go and sort of wrap my hand around and then grab the camera like that. So. And I see a lot of people doing that, and I think that's not a bad way to do it because it sort of locks a camera. This one's not long enough for me to do what my other one does, but it sort of locks around your hand like that, and that's not bad because then you've got a good grip on your camera, so you're not going to drop it.
You can get those hand ones that go from the top and the bottom. They screw into the tripod mount, I think, from memory.
Yeah. And the thing with these little rattly things as well, I know that videographers don't like these because they rattle around too much and affect the audio. So. You can hear that?
Yep. Cut them off.
A couple of little gripes, but they're probably just camera manufacturer things in general. Nothing to do really with Nikon, but I think.
Well, I think after the last few weeks, obviously I've got a new camera I'm playing with and had a few cameras. I don't think there's no perfect camera. I still haven't found a camera that I play with and go, yep, you know what? There's absolutely nothing on this I wouldn't change. It works perfectly. All the settings work. All the buttons are in the right spot. It feels comfortable. The lenses aren't heavy. The lenses aren't too light. Like there's no perfect camera. So I think we've just got to resign ourselves to the fact that that's never going to appear, that we have the perfect camera in the brand you want. So you're going to have to make some compromises along the way. And if it's a strap and, maybe a funny menu system, or if it's heavy lenses and crappy battery life or whatever it may be, you just have to deal with it and be happy with make do with what you got.
Yeah, exactly. So, so there you go. That's the Z5 Mark II to this point. Holy smokes, Cameron, we're already at 44 minutes. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. We've been flying, yeah. You have an announcement to make about something about BFOP, don't you?
I do.
Yeah. I listened to your interview on BFOP today. It was quite
What did you think?
entertaining. Yeah, it was good. It's going to be. I'm a bit jealous. No, not jealous, but maybe I'm feeling a bit miserable now that I'm not going to BFOP this year because it is such a great event. But the guys over at the Camera Life / Lucky Strap interviewed all the presenters for BFOP this year, 2025. Sold out. Don't bother buying tickets. So they interviewed everyone on the. I think if you go to the BFOP Groupies page, you'll find all the links to the interviews where your good self got interviewed. It was good. Yeah.
No, I did enjoy it. It's a good initiative. It's a good initiative. I did like the interview. It was good fun. And to that end, Cam, you're quite right. We do have an announcement about, for those of you that are going to BFOP, for those of you that are fans of our show, of the Down South Photo Show, friend of the show and number one ticket holder, Mr. Mel Haddon, is going to have a dinner on the Thursday night of BFOP. So this is going to be before BFOP actually kicks off. He is holding a get-together for Down South Photo Show fans. It is at 6:30 p.m. at the Alpine Hotel, which is right in the middle of Bright, literally around the corner from BFOP HQ, at 6:30 p.m. on Thursday, the 9th of October. Now, Mel has asked for us to share his phone number, so we are going to, might even put it up on the screen in a second, but to get in touch with Mel, send him a text or give him a call, 0419 191 614. That is 0419 191 614. You can get in contact with Mel there. And if you want to get along and meet like-minded people who follow the Down South Photo Show, we're quite chuffed when Mel suggested that he would do this.
Now, while you're doing that, because you need a bit of space there to put that phone number up on the screen,
Yes.
you're not going to be there. Is that correct? This is more of a fans of the show get together.
Yes, that's right.
You'll be doing a big bus tour up to Mount Hotham with Charlie Brown.
Yeah, so
I'll be overseas. So
so there you go. There's Mel's number on the screen for you. It's going to be. Unfortunately, Cam and I can't be there because Cam's going to be in Scotland and I'm going to be up a mountain with any luck. But I think the idea was more for fans to get together than for people just to sit there and talk to us. So it's really a really cool initiative. We know that before BFOP, Canon users get together and Nikon users get together, except that sort of stuff.
And Sony users. Oh no, they don't.
Yep. They don't. What do you mean? They don't get together.
No, the Sony guy left early last year, remember?
So that's Mel's number right there, 0419 191 614. Shoot him a text, give him a call, tell him that you're keen so he can organise numbers. We'll promote it again as BFOP approaches, but good on you, Mel. Thanks for doing that.
And thank you, Mel, for that, because he's just come out on his own bat to do that. So it won't be Mel buying you a dinner or buying you drinks. It's all buying your own thing. It's not something we're putting on as such, so you'll have to bring your wallet with you. Just helping you out, Mel, because I know that some people might rock up and expect Brendan or my credit card to be on the bar. That ain't happening. But Mel, next year, let's run it. I'll be there again next year. Let's run this together next year, Mel. I'm happy to help you out with that. I think Brendan will have a similar schedule each year now that he's made himself a bit of a legend of going up on the bus with Charlie up to Mount Hotham. So, but
what I was going to actually say was the bus normally gets back by about 9 o'clock. So if there's still a couple of stragglers at the Alpine, the bus pulls up right out the front of the Alpine. So I will wander on in. I'll get Mel to give me a heads up if there's still a couple around. So I will come in and say good day.
Yeah.
I may not be awake, but I will be there.
That's all right. You'll be still entertaining if you're asleep. But yeah, thanks, Mel. That's a really kind gesture to do that, and happy to promote that. We'll probably plug it maybe a couple more times before the BFOP. Mel will keep us updated with numbers and things like that. But yeah, great way to get there. And, you don't have to be in any special group. Just come along, say good day to Mel. Mel is like our unofficial manager, isn't he, here now?
And if we do get confirmation on numbers, I will make sure, and I will organise this, Cameron, that we have a bit of merch there for you as well.
Oh, you want to try and flog some merch?
No.
Never one to miss an opportunity.
Give.
Oh, give. All right. So, I've got a box full of hats up around the corner here that
there you go.
Never get taken out.
Send them over to me.
What time will 6:30? What time will that be in Scotland? What's the time difference there?
6:30 p.m. will be, so you, I can't remember how you do it with Scotland.
Early morning. So it's now about, what are we here? 9 or
It'll be 5:30 a.m. No, it'll be 7:30 a.m.
No,
you?
No, it won't be. It'll be about 9:30 a.m.
Oh, that's all right.
So
morning time.
Yeah, so I might
little scotch.
Yeah, and I won't be actually on a tour. I'll be in between tours, I think. So maybe I'll give Mel a call and FaceTime or something from over in Scotland somewhere and have a beer with him over online or something. But thanks, Mel. Good. Much appreciated.
Speaking of beers, Cameron, that's them on the screen right there.
It is. Mel. Thanks, Mel, for a beer. And Shazbang. Is that one of the rules that if you get your photo critique, you got to buy us a beer?
No, not at all. And can I just I know you already gave a shout out to everyone on the trip, but I would also like to thank Peter, Marie, Helen, Dee, Paris, Simon, and Eileen. Each and every one of you bought me a drink at some point on that tour. So as far as I'm concerned, that's beer donations. So I appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you. They did the same for me. Thank you.
Yep. Very good.
Cool.
So that is the beer donation side of things done. Cam, I think we've reached the end of another podcast.
Yeah, I think we have. I think we're ready for bed, both of us. We've had a big week, and
we have. Yeah, we've done well to knock out another episode. No one listens this fast, so it doesn't know we say whatever we want. You, I know, are back into the Tarkine in the next couple of days, so that's very exciting.
I am. Yeah, I'm back up there on Monday next week. We've got one of the Oz Geo trips we're doing. So, yeah, back up there, but this is a full Tarkine one, so no Cradle Mountain, sadly, but it's good. I've scouted it this week with you, so I know where to take this one now. It's great. Yeah, it's easy done. So, yeah, looking forward to that. Again, it'll be another long week, but it's a bit of a smaller group this time. I think we've got 4 or 5, so it's a bit more manageable. We'll probably get a bit more earlier nights without having 10 people around the table yapping and talking for ages, but yeah. And you back to the grindstone.
Yeah, back into camera and photo. Exciting times now because this is where, well, for example, the weather today was phenomenal. Like, let's talk about an early spring. As we record this, it's the 21st of August, and I think the temperature gauge almost nudged 20 degrees here in that's Celsius for those of you in America, and it was lovely. So it's a good time of year. Everyone gets a bit of a pep in their step. And we start looking towards Christmas, of course. Yep. I can't believe I'm using that word already, but there you go. And Christmas in retail can be a lot of fun, and it can be very busy. So we're getting set up for that. I'm launching my first calendar. Not my first, sorry. I have done a calendar before, but this is my first sort of fair income crack at it.
Looks good. I've seen a sneak peek. Looks very good.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with it. It's come up well. So a few tweaks that I'm making to that, and then we'll get that out of the shop. I've also got more workshops coming, so it's great. I've got entry-level workshops ×2 over the next 2 weeks. Sandwiched in between that, I have my golf day, which unfortunately you can't make it to, but that's okay. It'll happen every year. And then after that, I've got my Ballerine Peninsula 4-day workshop as well, which is going to be grouse. And the lovely Mel is coming to that. So it's a Mel show.
Nice. Mel show. Now, did you have an entry-level one tonight?
No, that's next week. No, it's next week. I have my entry-level one next Wednesday night, and then the following Wednesday night as well, which looks like it's pretty full. So that's going to be great because that'll be some new people that we can start teaching photography to, Cam.
Yeah, get into the joy of that. Now, question without notice about your calendar. Yes. Does it have March 31st on it?
I bloody well hope so. When I looked in the draft, it certainly did. March 30 and 31st. Yes.
Even better. Yeah, cool.
Yes.
All right. That's
handy if you sell a calendar that's actually got the dates on it.
Yeah.
Yes,
awesome. Well, I look forward to getting my copy in the mail when I buy one.
No worries.
I'll swap you. How about I swap you for one of mine? We'll do a swapsy.
Oh, well, exactly. We'll do a little barter. We'll go calendar for calendar. I like it.
We'll hang I'll hang mine in yours in my toilet, and you hang mine in your toilet. That's where they go.
Perfect. Sounds good to me. That is it. That's the podcast. This has been episode 174 of the Down South Photo Show. We will try and put an episode out next week. Mr. Blake's going to be off in the forest somewhere, so we'll see what we can do there. But I'm sure we'll promote that somehow.
Yeah, I think I might struggle to get the good enough reception to do it. So yeah, it might be either a week off, or if you can get someone to fill in, see if Mr. Lavender wants to come on, or Mr. Tom Putt, or Mr. Matt Crummins, or get one of the Lucky Strap guys on, or maybe
I
get
know.
Shazbag
I'll get Cheryl. Oh no, I can't get her either.
Oh no, you can't. Get Shazbag to come on. Shazbag could be a good host.
She'd be a great co-host.
Or get Mel. What about Mel? What about interviewing Mel?
That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? We'll have Mel on the other screen or in your other ear if you're listening to the show. Yeah. All kinds of stuff we could.
I'm sure you'll find someone who's silly enough to come on.
Or maybe the photographer I've been hounding forever might actually finally say yes, but we'll let you know.
Maybe. I'll be waiting with bated breath.
All right, that's it. Say goodbye, Cameron.
Goodbye, Cameron. See you next week, folks, or the week after. Bye.